If you think you know your family, think again. Because I thought the same, until I found out what my brother was doing on the dark web. That line still echoes in my head every night when I stare at the empty chair in our small European apartment. The same chair where he used to sit for hours, his eyes glowing in the pale blue light of his laptop screen. My name's Alex, and this is not one of those fake horror tales you scroll past. This is the real story of how curiosity, technology, and blood turned my life into a nightmare. So before we begin, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because once I tell you what I saw inside that red room, you'll never sleep the same way again. My brother Ethan and I grew up in a quiet coastal town in Northern Europe. We were close, the kind of brothers who shared everything. Food, laughter, even secrets. But there was one secret he never told me, that he had been working with the people behind one of the most disturbing corners of the dark web. It all began when Ethan developed an obsession with hacking at 16. While I spent my time on social media, he was learning codes, encryption, VPN routing, and Tor layers. He called it digital freedom, but I called it addiction. He used to say, "Alex, if you can control the internet, you can control reality." I laughed it off, thinking it was just his geek talk, until one night, his words became the foundation of my nightmares. That night, I walked into our shared room and saw something strange on his laptop. A chat window open on a site that didn't look normal. The screen had a black background with red text flickering like blood. The user on the other end had no name, just a symbol, a crimson eye. The message read, "Room 09 is ready. Camera feed will start in 10 minutes. Ethan saw me before I could react, slammed the laptop shut, and yelled, "Don't you ever touch my stuff again." His voice was cold, mechanical, not like the brother I knew. I walked out confused, but that phrase, "Room 09 is ready," kept repeating in my head. The next few days were strange. He stayed up all night, whispering into his mic, his door locked. He stopped eating with me, stopped talking. I thought it was some hacking forum or job, until one day his phone rang, and I picked it up. A deep, distorted voice said, "Tell your brother, payment for the next show will be double." The last one was entertaining. My heart stopped. Show? Payment? I confronted Ethan that night. He froze, his face pale, his hands trembling. Then he said something that changed everything. "Alex, you don't want to know. They're always watching." I demanded answers, but he just left the room, whispering, "Some doors, once opened, never close." That night, I couldn't resist. While he was out, I used his old passwords to log into his laptop. My hands were shaking as I opened the Tor browser, his saved bookmarks showing links with random codes. One of them was titled Crimson Layer Restricted. I clicked it. It took me to a dark web portal with multiple live streams. The titles were coded Room 01, Room 02, Room 03, and so on. But Room 09 was highlighted in red. I clicked it. The stream loaded slowly, pixel by pixel. What I saw next made my stomach twist. A dimly lit room, walls painted black, a single chair in the center, and someone tied to it, crying. A masked figure stood behind them, holding a knife. I thought it was some horror movie at first, but when the knife moved and blood splattered, I realized it was real. My breath caught. I tried to close the tab, but Ethan walked in and shouted, "What did you do?" His scream was pure panic. "They know now. You connected from our IP. They'll come for us." Before I could understand, he smashed the laptop shut, yanked the power cord, and started packing his things. I kept asking what was happening, but he didn't answer, just whispered, "We're not safe anymore." That night, we left our apartment and went to a motel near the forest. Ethan sat in silence, chain-smoking, his eyes bloodshot. Finally, he said, "Alex, the Red Room isn't just a website. It's a network. It's live torture streamed for the highest bidder. They hack people's cameras, their homes, their lives. I was hired to build their encryption system, but I didn't know what it was for until it was too late." I felt the blood drain from my face. "So you helped them?" I asked. He nodded, tears in his eyes. "I thought it was for security, but I became their weapon." I didn't sleep that night. Around 3 a.m., I heard a noise outside the motel window. Faint click. Then a whisper, my name. I woke Ethan, but he was already sitting upright, gun in hand. They found us, he said. Run. We escaped through the back door into the forest. I could hear footsteps behind us, voices distorted through walkie-talkies. My phone vibrated, an unknown number calling. I answered without thinking, and the same distorted voice said, "You shouldn't have looked, Alex. Room 09 is now yours." I dropped the phone and ran. We spent hours hiding until sunrise. When we returned to the motel, our bags were gone, our room destroyed, and Ethan's laptop was open on the bed. The screen flashing connected. Room 09 live. I screamed at him, "Turn it off!" But he stared at the screen in shock. The live feed wasn't showing any victim. It was showing me, my own face through my phone camera. "They're watching us right now," I shouted. Ethan grabbed the laptop and threw it against the wall. "We have to destroy every device." But it was too late. My phone started vibrating again, non-stop. The screen turned black, then red text appeared, "Welcome to the show." That's when Ethan took my phone, smashed it, and yelled, "They've chosen you. I'll stop them." He locked himself in the bathroom, and I heard typing. Fast, aggressive, desperate. Then silence. When I broke the door, the laptop was on the floor, the webcam light blinking. The screen showed Ethan's face, streaming live. "I'm sorry, Alex," he said, looking directly at the camera. "I have to end it. They need a show." I screamed as he pulled the trigger. Blood splattered across the screen, and the live feed went dark. I fell to my knees, shaking. My brother, my only family, gone. Sacrificed to satisfy monsters behind screens. The next day, police arrived after someone reported gunshots. They found me crying, but the laptop was gone. They said there was no evidence, no trace of any red room, just a destroyed phone and my brother's body. But that wasn't the end. Weeks later, while sorting through his things, I found a small USB drive labeled Room 09_final. Against my better judgment, I plugged it in. Contained a single video file. I hesitated, then clicked play. The screen showed a live feed me again sitting exactly where I was. My laptop webcam was on, but I hadn't turned it on. Then I saw a text appear on the screen. "Season 2 starts now." I slammed the laptop shut, threw it out of the window, and ran. That was 2 years ago, but sometimes I still hear the whispers through my phone speaker when it's turned off. Sometimes the camera light blinks on its own. Sometimes I get anonymous messages saying, "Smile for the viewers. I moved to another country, changed my name, but I can't escape the feeling that they're always watching." Maybe they already hacked this recording too. Maybe you're watching me right now, or maybe you're next. So before I disappear completely, I just want to say, don't ever go on the dark web. Don't ever search for red rooms. And if your screen ever flickers red, run. And yes, if you want more true dark web stories like this, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe, because trust me, what I've just told you is only the beginning.